Hansel! Dude! What you do? Yo, it was worth the wait. The fact that we had to wait 2 weeks for episode 17, it was worth it. Giving us a badass moment opening where episode 16 left off, where Vincenzo was definitely in that mode and just scaring everyone at Junwoo's house. Making a sharp left turn and giving us a heartbreaking, sad moment when Vincenzo said the word in front of his mom laid on the table. We've been waiting for him to say that word, but unfortunately it was too late. We got that moment, and just seeing the events that happened at the party, just really embarrassing Myeong Hee and Junwoo. Just seeing how HanSeo was part of the plan, seeing how Ki Seok, he finds out that Vincenzo has the file and puts his boss involved into the plan and make sure that whoever was going after Vincenzo, they made sure that they didn't go after him. Just seeing everything being played out was just wow. But also, we get to see ChaYeong. It seems like she's having second thoughts about how Vincenzo is playing out this chess game. Because at the beginning, ChaYeong she wanted revenge. And she wanted to take part of whatever Vincenzo has planned. And we know how should I put it for Vincenzo? I don't want to say sadistic, because he's not as crazy as Junwoo. Junwoo is more of unorganized crazy, but Vincenzo is more of an organized, slowly, revenge type of thing. So when ChaYeong first joined in, yeah, she was in it, but just seeing her reaction of Vincenzo's plan during the party, yeah, I think she's having second thoughts now. And remember what she said after Vincenzo's plan for the first party was done. She's gonna take over the second party. And yeah, so I'm guessing she doesn't want things to get out of hand and more crazier than what just happened in the first party. So at the beginning of the episode, we are dropped in where episode 16 left off. Vincenzo, his eyes has nothing but revenge. He's at the house. He shot the guy who murdered his mom at the hospital. And now he's pointing a gun at Myeong Hee, HanSeo, Seung-gyeok, and Junwoo. And we know Vincenzo. He doesn't want revenge quick and easy. No, he's not that type of guy. He has principles. And one of them is, hold up, I wrote it down too. Somewhere. Oh yeah, here it is. He said, a quick death is a blessing. So he's not going to kill them today. But eventually he will. And he actually gave them 2 choices. Either a slow and painful death or being embarrassed that is worse than death. And, well, here's the thing. I don't know if he gave him a choice. It's more of, I'm going to choose which one that I'm going to have you experience. And it was definitely the humiliation worse than death. The party was definitely part 1 of that. But yeah, he gave him that and then he just walked out. But before he walked out, he wanted to give him a preview and he aimed the gun at Junwoo's ear and just fired and then walked out. I'm like, dang, this is what happens when you mess with Vincenzo, man. You murder his mom, he's going to come after you. No holding back. And then making a sharp left turn, we get a very heartbreaking and sad moment. Seeing Vincenzo uncover his mom and just break down crying and saying the word that we've been longing for him to say. And he said it. He said, Oma. But unfortunately, it was way too late. Oh, man. I definitely cried. I cried, man, because we all wanted him to say mom when she was still alive. We all wanted him to. But because of Myeong Hee, yeah, he never got to. He said it, but just not to her when she was alive. And now we're at the hospital. Junwoo is getting treatment for his ear after Vincenzo shot him. And he's really pissed off. He tells Myeong Hee, hey, I want you to get back at Vincenzo. I want this guy dead. I don't care if you hire 200 or 300 men. I want this guy dead. But then he changed his mind and thinking, Okay, so if Vincenzo wants us to suffer slowly before our deaths, I want you to give him the same treatment. And what I like about the comparison between Junwoo and Vincenzo is that both their characters have their own craziness. But for Junwoo, as we know as we're watching the drama, he's much of a unorganized crazy, you know? And Vincenzo, since his background is more of a mafia lifestyle, his is more organized. Crazy, but more organized. Now let's get to the party. So we see how Vincenzo is going to get back at Myeong Hee and Junwoo. Well, this is just the first party, so this is just the first step. And we also see during this party event that, in my opinion, I think ChaYeong is getting some second thoughts after what she saw and what I'm going to talk about in a moment. But before I get to the party, I want to talk about the tenants real quick. So they were at Chef Toto's restaurant. They were thinking, man, we're kind of not much of a help for Vincenzo, so how much more we can do? So Jusung came into the restaurant, says, hey, I got the credit card that Vincenzo lent to us. Let's go to the store. They came in dressing up in black suits. Yo, they look so badass. Oh my god, I love the tenants. They look good. 100% they look good. So their plan was to raid the party, fake that there was a bomb. Well, I should put that in quotes. Fake bomb. And really embarrass Myeong Hee and Junwoo. So the first plan was to get Mr. Chu into the party. And the other tenants, well, some of the guys were there as security guards. So they got him in. Mr. Chu came in with a brown coat. He comes into the party. He rolls in the cake that was already there thanks to the other tenants who came in as chefs, Chef Toto and the other girl. So he rolls in the cake, makes a huge fuss, shows that he has a bomb strapped to him, and shows that there's a bomb in the cake and threatens to pretty much take out everyone in the room. So as we know, that's Vincenzo's plan, is to scare everyone. But then Myeong Hee, she's thinking, wait, hold up, that bomb is fake. There's no way that's a fake bomb. But then Mr. Chu was like, okay, I'm gonna give 5 seconds. And that tower, that miniature tower, is going to explode in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom! Mr. Chu dies! The bomb strapped to him was real. We saw a little bit of a flashback of their plan. Vincenzo said, hey, I want you to convince everyone in that room that that bomb is strapped to you is fake, but I want you to convince everyone that it's real. And that's what he did. But come to find out, it's real. Vincenzo killed him. And then this is where we get a scene of ChaYeong really having second thoughts about how Vincenzo is going about this revenge. And whoa, it kind of shocked me for a bit, but yeah, but what Vincenzo said is that I'm getting revenge for the guys who killed your dad. I'm gonna put the hunting dogs into the lion's den, and that's what he did. So Mr. Chu is dead. Now I will talk about the other guy in a moment. And right after that, Vincenzo sends a text to everyone, well, more like Midi did. And it was more of, hey, the bomb will eliminate everyone in that room. So what I want you to do is take the agreement papers, rip it up, eat it up, swallow it, state who you are, and cut ties with the evil company. And that's what the other people did. And then after that, everyone left the party. The 4 were still in the room. Time was counting down to 0. And then just when you thought it was a real bomb, it was a fake one. The one in the cake was fake, and spilling out was, I have no idea what type of liquid that was, but I guess it was safe to eat because Seung-gyeok was like, and all that. But yeah, they really, well, mostly Vincenzo, he really embarrassed Myeong Hee and Junwoo. Now for the other guy who was working with Mr. Chu, the other guy who was part of the murder of ChaYeong's dad, he went to Myeong Hee, begged for help. But then after that, to sum up his story, he's out too. And then right after the whole craziness at the auction party, we see HanSeo and Vincenzo playing hockey. That's basically their secret meeting. Whenever they want to talk, they just meet up there. And just watching this scene, it made me convinced that, man, these two can really be brothers. And if the whole theory of HanSeo's and Junwoo's dad could be Vincenzo's dad is true, these two are brothers. I mean, Vincenzo acts more of an older brother than Junwoo. Just speaking honestly here. Vincenzo really did help out HanSeo, so yeah, they can really be brothers. Um, an interesting scene when HanSeo was skating up to Vincenzo, he trips over, Vincenzo grabs him, and we get this brother bond type of thing. But in my mind, I was thinking, wait a minute, you see that in romance dramas, man? and and HanSeo gets all blushy. He tries to say thank you, and he does. And while Vincenzo left, he skates around like this, all blushy and whatnot. I'm thinking, bruh. It was a cute scene, not gonna lie. But yeah, again, these two can really be brothers. And then fast forward, we see Vincenzo telling Ki Seok that he has the guillotine file, shocking Ki Seok. Ki Seok wants Vincenzo to have the file be reported to his agency, but then Vincenzo was like, we're not done yet. We still got a job to do with this file. Once we're done, I'll give it to you. Then you can go ahead and report it to your boss. And Vincenzo asked for a favor. And I guess it was to have Ki Seok tell his boss that he has the file. And then that led to Ki Seok asking for a favor from his boss to try to convince people who are going after Vincenzo to not go after him. And that's what the boss did. One example would be at Junwoo's place at that little party. He was spying at the dinner table where Junwoo was talking to some other people, and he had a spy cam in his watch, and Vincenzo and them were watching it when his boss and Vincenzo finally met face to face at his office. And now for HanSeo. First off, Junwoo actually gave HanSeo the control of BABEL Bio, and if he does a good job, he'll give HanSeo more control of other subsidiaries of the company. So I'm thinking, man, he's getting what he wanted. And just seeing his relationship between Seung-gyuk as well, I'm thinking, and remember, this is before the last scene, I'm thinking, man, he's getting what he wanted. But to be honest, it really caused a red alert here. Because just seeing that one scene of him sliding between his picture of Junwoo, his actual brother, blood, or Vincenzo, a guy who has been causing trouble for his company, but who's also been helping him and acts more of a brother than Junwoo. So just seeing him slide between pictures, it definitely caused a red alert in my head, but I didn't really think too much of it. But then once we get to the last scene, where HanSeo called Vincenzo and said, hey, let's meet up. And HanSeo was beating around the bush, just skating around. Eventually he said, you've been helping me. It's been fun. Pulls out a gun, points it at Vincenzo, but Vincenzo already has a gun pointed at him. And Vincenzo said, the fact that you betrayed me, it means that you got what you want. I really didn't expect more of you, and you act just like your brother. Definitely got HanSeo a little bit angry, but then HanSeo was like, my gun is not even loaded. I'm using this to scare you. But then Vincenzo don't believe that, and he says, all right, then shoot yourself first if it's empty. But then, just a back and forth type of thing between these two. And then we see the SWATs came in, as well as, I think, detectives or whoever from Italy coming to get Vincenzo. And then we also see Korean cops as well. And they're pointing a gun at Vincenzo, and they're here to arrest Vincenzo. And Vincenzo kind of pointed his gun in a certain direction, and then bam, HanSeo shot Vincenzo. And right here. And then Vincenzo drops to his knees and then just drops down, bleeding. And that was the end of the episode. I'm like, HanSeo, what did you do? Yo, Vincenzo is going to get him back. If his target was mostly Myeong Hee and Junwoo, HanSeo, you are also that target as well. HanSeo just pretty much put a target on his back for Vincenzo. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the episode. If there's anything else I might have missed, please leave it in the comments below. This episode brought everything. It showed us almost everything. I feel like we never really got a full extent on how Vincenzo can get revenge. I mean, we had a taste of how he can get revenge from previous episodes, but he was holding back. I feel like in this episode, it wasn't the full extent yet, but we got a good handful of what he can really do to you if you cross him. And if I had any predictions, I feel like ChaYeong is going to have second thoughts on how Vincenzo handles stuff. And I think there's going to be a point where ChaYeong is going to stop Vincenzo from having things get a little bit out of hand and maybe change his mind on how to handle certain situations and try to convince him that there's always another way of handling certain stuff. it could be a possibility because we saw a scene of ChaYeong having second thoughts. So there's a possibility of her trying to convince Vincenzo to, hey, whoa, just chill, hold back for a bit, you know? And this episode was so entertaining. It made me go through a lot of emotions. The fact that it made me cheer for Vincenzo, cry for him, cheer him again, shocked for him. Wow. So anyway, if you guys like this review, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. See ya.